morning, dear children. This is Manik sir. Once again we are going to talk about the rise of nationalism in European country. So dear children, since last class we have been talking about the historical struggles of French society. We have been learning about the historical struggles of European society, how the revolutions movements which was started in France and how it was spread to all of the nations. That is what we have been talking about. So dear children, today we shall look into the topic that is called, what is called French revolutions. So the French revolutions, it is a historical struggles. It was struggles which was started by the peoples to fight against the monarchy and to end the monarchy systems, because the peoples do not want to be under the control of the monarchy. So these revolutions, it is questioning the authority of king, because before the revolutions which was happened in France, during that time we see the absolute monarchy systems in French society. So dear children, it is a absolute monarchy systems, because during the time of monarchy systems we understand that monarchy is the one who is the authoritative persons and no one is going to question his authority. So this was the systems which was going on for a long period of time in European society. So let us try to understand what is called French revolutions. Basically, the word French revolutions or the French revolutions means it is questioning the power of the monarchy. It is also denoting the end of monarchy systems. Because here peoples are no longer willing to go under the control of monarchy rule. Because initially there was a French society in which the absolute power of monarchy was there in the society. And what do you understand by this absolute monarchy? Because here monarchy is the one who is the authoritative persons, and no one is going to question his power, his authority. No one is going to appeal his power here, because whatever decisions he is making, that is the final one in the society. And during the time of monarchy systems in France, we see there was lot of difficulties which was faced by the peoples. There was a continuous struggles during the time of monarchy, because the peoples were facing lot of problems during the time of this monarchy, because the monarchy systems was only giving more focus to the system of spreading their own geographical boundaries. So most of the time the kings, the rulers, they were giving more importance to spreading their territory, and due to that there was lot of expenses which was there in the society, which was there during the time of war. And to cover that, what they were doing, they were imposing great tax among the peoples. And when they were imposing taxes, peoples were facing lot of difficulties. There was social causes, political causes, economical crisis, as well as the ideas of the intellectual persons. So due to all this scenario, peoples are no longer willing to be under the control of monarchy, because during the time of monarchy there is discriminations in the society. There is peoples who has to go through a lot of social discriminations, and due to that they do not want to have under the control of monarchy system. They do not want to live under the control of monarchy systems, only due to these discriminations during the time of kings and emperor. because in class 9th history we have seen that the society was divided into 4 categories, and there was discriminations, there was crises, because here the peoples are facing more problems in the society. So in order to save the destiny of the nations, we see the revolutions movements which was broken out in the year 1789. So here the peoples are keep on demanding to remove the powers of the monarchy. They are trying to limit the powers of the monarchy. They are no longer willing to be under the controls of the monarchy. Here the peoples are marching toward the Bastilles. They are going to the kings. They are demanding that they are no longer going to be under the control of monarchy, rather than they want to have their own system of governance. Here the peoples are keep on demanding that henceforth the peoples will save the destiny of the nations. That means the peoples will save the destinies. They will rule the nations by themselves. There will be active citizens in the society. The peoples will decide the future of the nations. The peoples will, they are facing real problems in the society. That is the reason they will take major decisions in the society. That is why they are questioning the power of the monarchy here. Because here, who is basically facing the problems? Here, the peoples who are facing more problems in the society. The problems of inequality, the discriminations between rich and poor. So here the peoples, they do not want to be under the control of monarchy. They want to have a new system of governance. So my dear children, in order to have the new system of governance, the French revolutions which was started in the year 1789, because here the peoples want to follow the new system of governance, that is known as the democratic systems, where the active citizens will save the destiny of the society. They will save the future of the nations. It is the peoples will decide the future of the nations, and that is the reasons the French revolutions which was started, because to end the power of monarchy, because the absolute monarchy system was there and the monarchy was having unlimited power. He was using repressive method to rule the society. So in order to finish those systems, the French revolutions was started in the year 1789. So dear children, as the peoples are continuously fighting against the monarchy, and they started to end the monarchy systems in French society, so they started unifying the peoples here, so that they will represent the nations here. So what are the steps they did during the French revolutions to make the peoples united in one group of peoples? So here we have to understand that what are the steps the French revolutionaries they taken up to create a sense of collective identity among the French peoples. So dear children, in order to make united in the society, they introduced some kinds of measures here, and that is known as the ideas of la patrie. So here the ideas of la patrie, it is representing the fatherland concepts. They are saying to the peoples that the whole nations, it is belonging to the peoples, and those peoples will save the destiny of the nations here. They will decide the future of the nations here. Again they introduce the concept of la citoyens here, and it means that the citizenship of the nations here. Here we understand the concept of la citoyens, and here the concept of la citoyens, it represents that the whole nations is belonging to the peoples, and it is the citizens of the peoples here. La citoyen is the terms which is used here, and it means that citizenship of the nations. And when they are having the citizenship of the nations, here we understand that they are having equal rights under the one constitutions. So since they are ending the system of monarchy, here the peoples are claiming that they are having equal rights under the one constitutions, and in order to make more patriotism feelings more stronger, they introduce a new French flag here that symbolizes the unity of the nations, that symbolizes the new nations. It is the new French flag, that is the tricolor flag, which is symbolizing the new nations here. And apart from that, they created the States of Generals, which is referring here the active citizens of the nations. And they composed new hymns, oaths were taken, martyrs were commemorated. So all these states, they were introduced so that they will create a sense of unity in the society. And apart from that, the centralized administrative systems was introduced, the uniform laws for all citizens were introduced, the internal custom duties were abolished, and the equal weights measures were taken place in the society. The regional dialects were discouraged. Only the French language as spoken as well as the Paris was written was adopted in the country. Apart from that, the revolutionaries, they further decided that their missions is to spread the ideas of nationalisms all throughout the nations. Because here they want to destroy the powers of despotisms and they want to establish a new system of governance that is known as the systems of democracy here. So in order to spread the ideas of nationalisms in European society, here the peoples are adopting a new collective systems so that peoples will be united in the society. So here, dear children, here we understood that the peoples, the French peoples, they have a strong promises that they will decide the future of the nations, and in order to make a ideal nations, they are sacrificing their lives for the nations and they are shaping the destiny of the nations here. And these are the collective identities they created in order to unite the peoples of French peoples. Already I have told you, dear children, the ideas of La Patrie, the La Citoyenne, the equal rights, the new hymns, the tricolor flag, the active citizens, the new hymns were constructed or made, or the martyrs who died for the nations, their names were remembered, the administrative systems were made new here, the uniform laws were introduced, the internal custom duties, that means there was a system that when someone is doing business activities, they need to pay the custom duties here, the taxes here. Such kind of things were abolished during the time of the constructions of new nations in French society, and the discouraging of regional dialects were made during that time. Apart from that, only the French languages as well as the Paris languages were accepted in the society. So it is the missions of these French revolutionaries to make the new nations in the society.